got my audio. Alright, so let me quickly check. It's not a stroke. It's about where is it? Yeah. Where is it? And so hopefully I can yeah, I think so I need to get this on. Hopefully I can look, I click and get the, or I need to log in, it seems. So what's the, did I change the edit? Okay, so I get like 1, 2. Ooh, yeah. And yeah. So let's go here. Right, Rex, I just start streaming. I need to adjust some of the settings, and before we actually start recording sessions, I think I'm going to start approximately 2 hours, and yeah, approximately 2 hours. So that'll be pretty long, huh? That'll be pretty long. And let's go here. Alright, and what about here? Just right, don't remember. I already get that. Okay, so you got like it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Yeah, so I think that's we continue. So where's the chat? I think I can get the chats, embedded chats, embed a link, launch. We can launch it. So this is a separate chat. Yeah, that's good. And yeah, so So yeah, and I want to make it approximately here, and then this will be the recording sessions. Recording. Where should the recording go? I think this better be the book, and this should be the recording. But there's like no chatting section. Okay, there will be the recording. So I can't see the chat. Let me adjust it a little bit because okay, so hopefully I can get the chat. I can get like a one. Okay, the chat over here. Okay, and then this will be the textbook. Yeah. Right, and let's change it to Chinese. Right, let's pour my coffee. Yeah, pretty good weather. Why this is very small? Can I make it this big or? Yeah, I changed my mind. I changed my mind to something big. Fit the screen, the window, and where is the here? Go down, and then this should be the yeah, here. Hello. Okay, let me test the recording as well as the audio. Right. Hello. Alright, so where is this being recorded? Where is this? Okay, so let's quickly test this. Okay, that seems to be pretty good. And I think the mic's volume is not correct. I think I will enhance the volume. Oh my god, start streaming do require me to do tons of things beforehand. That's definitely too much. Hello. What about this? What about this? Still two. Hello. I have to do something like this. That's too much. Let me just make it 10. Hello. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's quickly test it. Hello, I want to like speak normally and see whether the audio quality is good enough. Possible it's not like good enough. Hello, I want to like speak normally and see whether the audio quality is good enough. Possible it's not. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, let's get started. Alright, let's get started. So where is the where's the chat? It is supposed to be somewhere here. Okay, let me just let's get started. Alright, let's continue. So today we're going to talk first a little bit about the 疑问代词. Okay, and so basically we sort of leave the stroke of the characters a little bit because we're going to dive the world of grammar. Okay, and I know grammar can be a little bit boring, so I tend to add more interesting stuff while explaining things. Okay, and to be honest, the HSK curriculum, the textbook material do not offer a lot of concepts as well as a lot of grammar as well as writing, all this stuff. Supplementary stuff to dig deeper into, but the extracurricular stuff, which is the supplement stuff that's after the text, that's a treasure trove, and it can provide so much more. So, for example, the grammar part, right? So, for example, the pronoun, especially the interrogative pronoun. 疑问代词, right? Interrogative pronoun is like like in English, it's like something like the question words. Okay, so for example, in English we got like a lot of W, right? Like what, who, which, where, when, why, and one H, how, right? And in Chinese, we also have this interrogative pronouns. Like 什么, right? And to be honest, it's not restricted 什么 in the extracurriculum supplement stuff. It's just to say one thing, just introduce you one thing about 什么, which is equivalent to English like what, right? Like what are you doing here? Hello, Kara main channel. Hello, 你好. Yeah, I'm like recording my it's like a project built in public, but while I'm recording, this is like a paid bootcamp, but I record that in real life, and I also do the streaming, so it's like streaming for free. Okay, so I'm recording, so I pause the video to explain a little bit, and let's continue. Right, so For example, 你在做什么 right? What are you doing? It's like a what. So basically, the 疑问代词什么 is like the like what in English. Okay. Yeah, I usually don't want to talk too much about the grammar because it's come on. I to be honest, I'm not very good at grammar. I feel that the language is like alive is not restricted to certain logic. Sometimes it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, like a double negative, but it's still negative, right? But if you like you treat that logically, double negative should be like positive, right? But in languages, just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I tend to not worry too much about like specific grammar, but rather I think this is you're saying pretty good. If you already in China, right, you study that language, you get yourself immersed into that environment. I think that's a very good way to learn and more natural way to learn. Okay, so right now it's the HSK SK. Right now I think it's the HSK 1. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately it's right now we at this stage, and we are learning the 什么, right? So but I think if you look at the explanation, like the interrogative pronoun 什么 is used in interrogative sentence, serving as the object by itself or together with a nominal element following it. For example, I think that's the explanation just to make things more confusing, right? I think you can just simply treat this as what, okay? And so basically you can say 你在做什么 right? 你在做什么 right? So basically it's like 你 is like you, 在 is like you, what are you doing, right? 做 is like doing, 什么 is like what. So basically if you just translate directly, it's like you, 你在 在 means that you are doing something, okay? It's kind of like a doing, but it's not, do not have a do, it's more like a in, okay? So 在 is like represent a certain state, right? And then 做 is like actually it's a do. And then 什么 is like what. So basically you can sort of treat the 什么 as the what. So as simple as that. And I think as long as you got the translation correct, you got this like equivalent of a certain thing in English, that's good enough. Okay. Of course you can say let me just give you more example by inserting more slides. Okay, so just to say 什么 is like what, like 你喜欢什么 right? 什么 right? 喜欢 is like like in English, right? 你 is like you, okay? So 喜欢 like 什么 what. But if you like something strong, like 你爱什么, but it's a kind of really like in Japanese it's like katai. It's like okay, let me think of a way to express in Chinese. It's like 表达很生硬, right? So basically it's like hard way to say things. It's like textbook version of like 你爱什么. But normally in I think in everyday speaking, Chinese speaking, we don't usually say 你爱什么, but rather 你喜欢什么, right? And we often add something to here. 你喜欢, for example, 你喜欢吃什么, right? What do you like? What? 什么 is like what? What do you like to eat? Okay? So basically we want to add this supplement. 你喜欢吃什么? 你喜欢平常喜欢玩什么呀 ？Right? It's like a play. What do you like to play? In your like 平常喜欢. So it's like you add this to make it more natural. 你平常喜欢干什么？Like 平常 is like what do you usually do? What do you weekend something like that? Right? 你周末喜欢干什么？喜欢干什么 I think this is like do. Okay, 干 is like do. So 你喜欢干什么？平常喜欢干什么 Alright, so it's like so if you it's kind of a hard way to say it. It's like a textbook version, curriculum version of the expression rather than more natural way of speaking. So it's, at least it's not how I usually speak Chinese. So for example, 你爱什么 that's a very very not so natural way. I don't think like native Chinese would say that. But rather you say something like 你爱吃什么 This is a more natural way, but rather this is more natural way, not just 你爱什么 that's feel like something meeting, like 你爱 what okay, so you sort of need to add a specific thing, like 吃玩 right? 你爱吃什么？你爱玩什么？是吧？你爱干什么？你平常喜欢做什么？ Right? Something like that. So basically, you need to add more things. Okay? And for the HSK textbook example, let's look at all this to go through the language point, but also I want to add a little bit more because I don't want you just to learn the textbook version because it may not textbook version sometimes just feel weird when native speakers listen to that. So the textbook example is like 你叫什么名字 right? So 你叫什么名字 right? You call 你叫 right? You call 什么 what 名字 is name right? 名字你叫什么名字 叫 is like even though you just look at like single-handedly, it's like a call, right? So but if you look at 叫 it's like right, it's like a person here right? And there's like a I don't know something like like raise an amplifier and say like right, so basically something like this. Okay, and I need to like hide me a little bit so you can see my amazing drawing. So basically it's like a 叫 okay? So basically it's like shouting if you translate that directly. But the inferred meaning is like call. Right? It's like call someone, okay? And let me unhide myself. So the textbook example is like 你叫什么名字 like this you called what 名字 is like name, okay? So you call what name? So basically it's like I think you don't need to know the exact grammar, but rather you sort of treat this as a placeholder, right? So 你叫 you called and then placeholder what kind of a name that you're called, right? So 你叫 what name? So it's like a placeholder. Yeah. So Kyoku so is that a so what kind how to pronounce it? Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Kiku is like it's not like Japanese name, isn't it? Chala Kiku. Okay, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Yeah. So 9 years old. Oh, you're 9 years old? Okay. That's pretty young to learn like a second language. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I think the second example, this. What is this question mark? Okay. 9岁記憶. Okay, and let's continue. My name Chinese. My name Chinese. 記憶有. き Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, I'm going to continue to you can type and join the chat, and I'm going to continue to record and check your chat. Okay, so yeah, thanks for joining the chat, by the way. And right, so the next sentence is about it's about a question. I think it's a very common way to ask other people about things, right? So it's especially if you don't know how to call a certain thing, right? So what is this? Okay, so you can say this is like 这, right? 这, right? This. So basically, you indicate something like 这个, like I want this, right? So for example, you go shopping, you can say I want this. 我要这个. 我要这个, right? So basically, this. 这个 also means this. 个 is like 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can say 个头. Right, that means the size of that person. For example, you can describe someone being like a really bulky, huge build. So you can say, 那个人个头很大, right? 个头很大. That means the size of that person is really big. And I'm going to hide myself a little bit because I think I obstruct the view a little bit. So I might as well just raise myself a little bit higher, because I think here, I normally don't write here. Okay, so basically, 个 is like the yeah, I think why I'm not moving. Okay, obviously there's something wrong with the camera. Okay, let me restart this camera. I think maybe it's overheat or something. Let's do that again. Okay, restart the camera. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's good. So 我要这个. Yeah, I'm not American. I'm Chinese. 你是美国人吗? Yeah. Are you like practicing speaking this, or you asking me? Yeah, by the way, I answered both, and it's perfectly correct Chinese. And I think we just about to introduce 是, right? This 是 sentence. So basically, it's like a 判断句, right? Like 我是你是, right? I think this is a very good example. So yeah, after we finish with what, I'm going to continue to talk about 是, right? So yeah, let's where were we? I didn't understand. English or Chinese that are speaking too fast. 因为你说得快。Yeah, the stream definitely lag a little bit because it's like a relay service that I use, like a restream to relay. So I use like OBS to just to get like an API key of the restream. A restream distribute into multiple platform, and it got like a relay lag, I think. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, let's continue. Is it Chinese or Japanese? Sorry, is it Chinese or English? I'm speaking too fast. English. All right. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Sorry about that. All right. So yeah, let's continue. Good. So good. So. Right, and for example, 我要这个, that means 这个 is like this, right? 我要这个 means I want this. So for example, you go to a shop, you want certain things, you order certain thing, you say 我要这个, I want this, right? 我要这个. And also this is the curriculum textbook supplement example. 这是什么 right? 这 sorry 是什么 Okay, so what, you already know 什么 right? 什么 Okay, 什么 and 什么 I think 么 is like a no tongue or 什么 生神 right? 什么 the second tongue as well as the non-tongue at all. 这是什么 But I think this also introduced a very important thing called 是 because 是 in fact is another sentence 是字句 right? That means 是 sentence literally translated the 是 sentence right? So in Chinese it's called 判断句 means that you are doing some like determinative thing, right? So you will say, well, this is and this is not. 是不是 remember we just learned about 不 right? I think it's 不 we talk about that, right? 不 right? So yeah, this is like negative. So for example, 要不要 you want this, you don't want this, right? So for example, 是 is like is. I don't want you to get confused by learn tons of grammar point, but rather you just make the connection with the Chinese and English, right? 是 is, and if in English if you say that it is not, so basically you add this isn't, right? So you add not, but not in Chinese is like 不, right? So it's like negative. So 是 basically 是 means that it is, okay? Determinative sentence, right? So for example, you want 我是谁, right? 我是美国人, 我是中国人, right? So that means I am, okay? And if you say 我不是, that means I am not. Really, really simple. But we will talk about more. Let's continue with the textbook example of 什么. So we finish that, and then we will talk about 是 and 不是 more, right? So for example, 什么, and I also want to introduce a little bit of 是 by using the combination. Remember, previously we say 这是什么, 这是什么, right? This 这 right? 这是什么什么 right? 么 is like 轻声 right? No tongue at all. So 这是 right? This is what? This is what? And then you can add more information to it. So for example, next textbook example is like 这是什么 and then you add 书 right? Look at that. 书 is like a series of book, right? It's like a book stacked together and then maybe some thing at here. It's like a side view of the pen, and then you can see, well, this is like 书. Sorry about this dot. It should be something like this. Okay, 书, right? That literally means book. Okay, 这是什么? Then you can add more thing. 这是什么书啊? Right? And as I said at the very beginning, that you can add like right? Or wah at the end of sentence. It's like wah to just make this softer. Right? 这是什么书啊? Like 朋友，这是什么书啊？你在看什么书啊? So it feel more natural. It's like 这是什么书? It's more like an accusation. For example, you're in the class and you watch some. I still remember the days when I was at school and like teacher at school like forbid students to watch other books. We call that杂书, right? 杂书. Okay, so 杂书 means that it's not the curriculum book, not the textbook, but rather it's a 杂 it's like 杂乱无章. It's like messy book, like the extra curriculum book. So 杂书闲书, right? 闲书 闲 is like relaxed. Okay, it goes this way. Okay, it's like a door, 门, and inside we got a 木. 木 is like the wood, right? The 门 is like a door, right? So a door, inside we got a wood. So it's like you are relaxed. Think about this. So you go out, you cut down the wood and bring the wood back inside of your doors, and then your whole day's work is finished. So you're pretty relaxed, you chill. So 闲书, that means that it's the book when you at your leisure time, as your free time, you read that. So yeah, by the way, yeah, there's some like extra supplement stuff of book, of 书. But let's go back. 这是什么? Right? Means 这 is this. 是 is like is, right? This is 什么? What? Okay? So basically literally means this is 什么? What? Okay? 这是什么? And then you add that. This is what book? 这是什么书啊? Right? Remember, I add R at every sentence just to make it really soft. 这是什么书啊? Or you can just change this book to whatever you want. 这是什么水啊? Right? For example, you saw someone like drinking water, right? Drinking seeming like coffee, but you are not sure. Maybe it's like I don't know, Coke, right? And you may ask that person, 这是什么水啊? Like you're drinking water is like a liquid, but I'm not sure whether it's a coffee or it's a Coke, it's a cola, right? So you ask that person, you saw that, well, you're drinking, 这是什么水啊? 你在喝什么? But I think more natural way of asking that question should be 你在喝什么? That's a more natural way of asking that question. But I don't think that's in the curriculum because that's very spoken way. 你 means you. 在 right is doing something, right? 你在 means a state. 你在干嘛 right? means that what you are doing right now, right? 你在干什么, right? So basically, this 喝 is like, you can use like a 干什么. So basically, it's like do what, do something, right? So 你在喝什么 is what, drink what. It's like just 语气. I just make it this 语气 soft. What mean? What mean? What do you mean? Hi, Kara. You don't need to call me like 师傅, right? So what's your question? What mean? It's like, are you asking what's the meaning? What's the meaning of what? Sorry, I don't quite understand. Are you asking the meaning of 老师 or 师傅? What's the difference? 老师 is like the teacher. 师傅 is more like the like a kung fu master, right? It's like or someone with the with some like physical skill. Yeah. So for example, if someone is very good at like making shoes, okay, that is like 师傅, right? 老师傅. So for example, someone is very good at kung fu, right? Some physical skill, or some traditional. So for example, I remember when I go like a travel, I see some like some people that are very good at making some carved like sculpting on like like one rice, okay, and doing that sculpting. So basically that's like a more like a physical skill. And so yeah, we normally call that 师傅. So for example, more for example, you go out, you take a taxi, right? And the driver, right, is like using the physical skill. So we usually, for example, we say like, 师傅多少钱? Right? How much is it for the ride, 师傅? Right? We are not actually saying that he is the master, but we are like doing to call that to the certain people working in a certain professional. Say that we respect them because they're like very good at it. But for example, a few days ago, there's some like the pipe like got like stuck in the kitchen, and I can't get. I'm like really good at fixing all these things. That I bought tons of equipment, little gadget that can to get inside of the pipe, and we can rotate it to make all this. Normally it's like in the kitchen, it's like oil will clog the pipe, and I can't do that. So and then I hail a professional online, and then he come and fix it. He's like using the heavy gadget that pump the air into it. So yeah, I call that 师傅, right? Because he's very good at it, and he's doing like his physical things and very skillful things. That's more like 师傅. 老师 is more like the school settings. So you go to school, someone teach you. 师傅你会问我. So yeah, I sorry, I may misunderstood you. So what are you trying to say? Yeah, oh yes. What do you mean? I just 不懂我. If you 教师 or 老师. Oh yeah, oh yeah, 教师 or 老师. Yeah, I think it's pretty similar two words. 老师 is more like a general terms for someone who teach you, especially in modern Chinese. So for example, in business settings, this is like a really modern as well as the application Chinese here. So if someone that you don't know have some titles, or you don't know what they do, but in the general business settings, you just call that person 老师, right? Because there's old saying in Chinese is that 三人行必有我师, right? So let me just get it down. 三人行必有我师, right? 三人行, sorry. 必有我师, right? So we got like a really old saying, means that three person, 三人 means three person, right? Three person, three person, three person. That's walking, right? And among the three person, they have to be like my teacher, 我师. That means 老师. Because yeah, you may have the generally you may be better at the other person, right? Like 三人, the three person, right? But at one specific field, they may be better than you, right? So you can learn from them. And basically that's a sort of a strive from this old Chinese saying, 三人行必有我师. So basically, if you don't know whether that person got a certain title, but you know what, Chinese person really love the titles. So if you got like certain titles, like 什么什么总, right? So for example, it's like a CEO of a company, right? You need to use that title. But normally, if you don't know, and you just to call them 老师, it can't be wrong, right? So for example, you know their family name, okay? So for example, Wang, right? Right, Wang, right? And you just call that Wang plus 老师, right? For example, it's Xu, right? Xu, Wang, right? You just use that and plus 老师. 徐老师, 王老师, 你好, 你好, 徐老师, 王老师, 你好. So basically, you generally saying that, you are my teacher, right? And I want to learn from you. So it's like humble yourself, right? You are the teacher, 你是老师, 我是学生, right? Even though in the formal business environment, okay? That's the, like, 老师 is like used in general terms. And if you specifically say something like 教师, okay, so 教师 is more like the school environment about the teacher. Okay, so you go to school, and the 老师, the teacher who teaches you in the very formal way of saying of expressing who they are, you call that 教师. But most of the time, I think 99% of the time, we call that 老师. Okay, you call that, you say 老师好, right? 老师再见, right? It's like hello teacher and teacher goodbye. Okay, but for example, you got like a really formal settings of like international Teachers' Day, right? So in that specific scenario, we call that 教师节. Okay, so I think this is more about the convention sort of thing, right? So 教师 is more about the student-teacher relationship, about the context of a school relationship, and in the specifically in this combination 教师节, so it's like a teacher's day. We use 教师 rather than using 老师, but I think 老师 is more inclusive, okay, and it can be applied in a lot of scenario. That's my answer. Hope that answers your question, Chara. Chara, Kara. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry about that. It's more like character or chakra. it's like in Naruto, chakra. Like you combine my chakra. Doesn't really matter. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah. I tend to stream like every morning, right? Every day. So you can subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I like have like a playback. But thanks for joining the chat. Hope that helps. Right. Bye. I just two. I think yeah. I want to like go through the HSK 1 all the way to 5, and so yeah, maybe maybe starting at the end of this month, I think. Yeah, so yeah, that really depends on how frequent I stream, because I tend to like record every all this books material while doing stream and chat with folks. Yeah, I think maybe approximately 1 month later, I will like answer the HSK2. Okay. Right. So I'm going to get some water. Okay, and rest a little bit, and I continue. I already streamed for 1 hour. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me hide this. Okay. Yeah, 谢谢你的收听。Okay, 爱听，谢谢。Okay. Thanks, mate. Alright, I'm going to get some water. Right, so okay, so yeah. 在喝什么？干什么？这是什么什么 book? Okay, so let's add a new slide. So, do you folks still remember that we just talked about 是, right? So let's dive a little bit deeper, and I'm going to give you more example of it. So 是means is, okay, and we can have a 不 before it. So basically means, yeah, basically it's a negative. But here's the thing. I want to also talk a little bit about the tone here. So 是 is like forced down, going down. 不 is like forced down. But if you got a two forced down together, you change it to 不是. Okay? Because if you 不是, that's that's just too weird and too difficult to pronounce. And I think any language, the ultimate goal is to make it easy to pronounce. Sorry. So basically is 是 and 不是, right? Is and is not. Okay? Isn't. And so basically 是 is like 判断句. And in Chinese it's called 判断句. 判断. 判断 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 means to make your judgmental call. Okay, so 判 is like for example, there's a judge that he 判案, right? So basically he make his judgment call of 案子, right? 案子, that's a fancy word of saying that some case. So 判案 is like make the judgment of the case. And we often add 子 behind like certain things to show respect. So it's, this kind of thing can be added to, say, a person, right? So for example, like 孔子, right? 老子. And it can, in some like dialect in Chinese, we can also add it behind, say, animals. So like 鸡子鸭子. Right? 鞋子. Right? So basically we add it here just to show respect and sometimes make it cute. Sometimes it shows in some dialect in Chinese. Sometimes it's actually a word in Chinese, like 鞋子. 鸡子鸭子, I think it's in the middle of China's dialect. You'll hear this a lot. But if you say this, even though some people may don't have this dialect, but they will understand and they will think it's cute. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, let's go back to 是. Basically, it's a 判断句. Basically, this is like 句子, right? So you add 句 behind 判断. That means it's the determinative sentence. You make your determinative Yeah, as simple as that. Determinative sentence. And so for example, you can say 我是谁 something some subject, and then we can add the predicate 我是 someone 是 right? You can say the typical textbook example is something like this. Let me just give you the textbook example and then expand on it so you won't miss the grammatical point. So the grammar point, the textbook example is Li Yue. Li is a very common family name in China, right? So Mu Zi Li. Okay, so basically, if someone asks some Chinese, 你姓什么, right? So what's your family name? And then they will say 木子李. Why they say that? Because there is a mu at the top, right? So this is called mu, right? This is like trees, the wood, right? And by the way, if you combine this together, and then this will become sen, right? Senling, sen, the first time. So it's like multiple trees become a forest. So basically this is like a wood, this is like one tree, and then this become a forest. Okay, I think it's very, very interesting just to see how this combination of things, because the Chinese character actually convey a certain meanings, and even though the pronunciation may change, but the meaning is that it stays the same. That's the reason why with a little bit learning of Chinese characters, you can understand what the article that written like really, really long time ago, like thousands of years ago. You can understand them, right? You can even decrypt the crypt language, like carved on stones, because it's just to represent, using shape to represent things. So for example, this is like one tree. I love trees, so that's a forest. Okay, so Mu and Sen. Okay, so for example, let's go back. This is like family name, Mu Zi Li. Zi is like 儿子, right? 儿子鞋子. 儿子 is like a son, right? But you know what? You add this 子, right? And also it can be 子孙后代. 子孙. So 子 子is like the son, and 孙 is like son, but a little bit smaller son. So 孙, that means the grandson. Okay, so yeah, small. But if you look at here, this is 小. So how amazing that a Chinese character is, right? So yeah, 子孙后代. 后代 is like a descendant. So right, 李月, 月 is like a moon, right? It's just like a moon, right? So 李月is a maybe it's a female name, but I think male can also have a moon. Okay, if I can have a name, I think moon is pretty great. It's like the greatest, astral project objects around us. How amazing that we can use our native eyes to see the moon. That's pretty fancy stuff. So 李月is just a name. 李月氏 is family name Li, and Yue is like given name. Okay, that's the full name of a Chinese person. Li Yue. Sorry about that. So basically, this is just a name, right? 李月, 李月氏 is like is. 李月 is, 李月氏是什么呢? Previously, we just talk about tons of like 师傅 and 老师, right? So 老师, let's just a quick review that. 老师 that means teacher, right? 李月是老师 that means 李月 is teacher. You just add a 不 then completely change the meaning. 李月不是老师 that means that 李月 is not the teacher. Okay? And yeah, let's quickly expand this. Like The textbook example is 我, that means me or I. But in Chinese, there's like no difference of a me, I, mine, and all that. Okay, just 我. That's kind of good, huh? Everything become 我. Just 我 means, yeah, the subject, me. Okay, and then we can say 我是. And the textbook example is 我是美国人. Okay, 美 means beautiful, right? 美国人, 美国人, that means the American, right? For example, 中国人. That's how easy Chinese is. You just change this, okay? You use whatever country's name as that country, and then you add the 国, say that country's country, and then 人 is like that countryman. So I'm that countryman, so I'm that country's man. Okay, so literally translated. How good is that? You don't need to say USA and American and America, American. What about Australia, Australian, and United Kingdom, British? You don't need to do that because you just say that country. So, for example, it's like 英国, right? So that's UK, right? 英国, and then 英国人. How simple is that? Just use that country, and then you add 人, become that country's person. Okay, that's countryman. Okay, so yeah, 我是美国人, 我是中国人, right? 我是英国人, right? So basically, you're different country's man. Okay, and of course, already introduced the next example is like 我不是老师. So 李月不是老师, 李月是老师, right? You just add 不 is a negative, is become is not. Okay, so really really simple. That's the 式子句知识点. Okay, I think I just added the 骂疑问句 interrogative sentence, and then I will going to finish today's stream because I got other projects going on. Okay, and I think yeah, I already stream a lot. Okay, and more importantly, not a lot of people is watching now. I got a data screen here, so I can see that a lot of people is watching. And so I think you guys can since not a lot of you folks are here, I'm going to like rest a little bit and drink some water. Okay, by the way, you can join the chat, join the chat. I'm going to check later, right? Right, and also I want to talk about the ma. So ma is it's kind of like an indicator, okay? So if you also you learn Japanese, you can see that in Japanese there's also a question or interrogative sentence indicator called ka, right? And this is just how amazing these two language themes. So ka, as well as Chinese ma, nearly got the same pronunciation. But the difference between the Japanese and Chinese is that Japanese you don't need to add this question mark, but in Chinese you can also add this question mark, even though you have this 疑问句的这个疑问语气助词疑问助词 ma. So ma, okay, ma, and yeah. I think most of the time it's just no tongue at all, right? So just a really light ma. Okay, and if unless you want to like make it really like highlight that, I think most of the time is just like no tongue at all. You just 这是什么？你是老师吗？Not 你是老师吗 right? It's not like the first time. 你是老师吗？你是老师吗？你是老师吗 Yeah. I don't think we speak that way. Okay? So basically, ma is like 疑问助词. That means that if you got a question and you want to ask someone, you add at the end of the declarative sentence. So remember, we talk about like 我是美国人 right? This is like a typical declarative sentence. But if you want to add a question, you want to add the question to ask whether this declarative sentence is true or not, you can use ma at the end of sentence, right? So, for example, you can say 你是美国人 right? 你是美国人 right? 你是美国人 that you are American. This is a typical declarative sentence. 你 subject, right? Verb is like to be verb, right? So is you are, right? 美国人 American, right? 美国的人 right?美国 is like America, USA plus 人 is like a person, right? So 你是美国人 is a declarative sentence. You are American, and you want to add a question because you are not sure. You can add 你是美国人吗 right? Are you American? Okay, you just ask question. Are you American? Okay, so yeah, just by adding this ma, you change the whole sentence into say you are American, and then you say are you American? Okay, you don't need to change the order of things. You just need to add a ma at the end of a sentence. Okay, really simple. Hi, anime Gikurma. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm like at the very last few grammar points of today's stream now. Thanks for joining. And yeah, I'm going to reply some message. Okay, yeah, let's continue. Oh, by the way, I also love anime. I got a like a digital art channel called Learn Digital Art with William Jiangming, and I draw tons of things, tons of anime. So yeah, and I draw all this animation and then I like animate and make it in the game. I'm also a developer, so let me quickly show you folks the thing I'm working on. So do here. Oh yeah. This is well, this is my my other channel. Yeah, so
the real you got trapped in this cute.
Yeah, basically I just do all sorts of crazy stuff. This is like animation that I draw, and I also program games and do tons of things. Yeah. So yeah, let's continue. I just got like a 2 sentence example, and then I'm going to finish today's stream. Okay. And of course, the textbook example is kind of boring because it's just a kind of like a repetition. Okay, repetition of what we already learned, right? 你是 right? We talk about 你是美国人, and then it just change 你是中国人, right? And then this is like you are Chinese, and then you just need to add a ma, right? And the question mark. So are you Chinese? Okay, really simple, right? 你是中国人吗? That means are you Chinese? You're like asking the question. Okay, 你是美国人吗？你是中国人吗？你是老师吗？ You just change the thing that you want to ask. Change the noun phrases that you're trying to ask. Okay, but I want to talk a little bit more about this. Okay, since we're already at the section of the question, I want to quickly introduce some of the 疑问代词. That's like the basically it's like the question words in English. At the very beginning of this series video, I said that, you know, in English there are tons of question words. 疑问代词, just tons of W and one H, right? It's like what, who, which, where, when, why, and how. This is like, you know, I also write tons of plot, by the way, and stories, because I also develop games, and so the fundamental of writing a good story is to get you all this W and one H correct, right? So it's like what happened, who is there, like which like thing that are using, and where and when this is happening, and why this is happening, and how this is happening, something like that, right? So basically, yeah, I want you to make that connection, because it's really important if you want to get a specific detail of certain event, because that's basically how writers using all this information to write events. Okay, so yeah, all the question words is pretty interesting. But in Chinese, we can also have that kind of 疑问代词, right? So basically, let me just give you some like the English and corresponding Chinese 疑问代词. Okay, so for example, all this W, who, then is in Chinese is 谁,谁. Okay, 谁 means who. So for example, you ask a random person coming to the room, and you say 他是谁啊, right? So 他是谁呀? Right? Who is that guy? 他是谁呀? Let me just make myself a little bit here. Okay? 他是谁呀? I prefer to add yeah, so make it more 他是谁呀? Make it more soft. It's not like 你是谁? Right? It's like you're alert. You want to question this person. And you are like drawing out your gun. You say, right? But rather it's like more gossip kind of thing, right? 他是谁? Right? So for example, you're in a work office, right? And some, you know, like the girls that gossip, right? And the handsome man coming to deliver the flower to one of the girls, and after the handsome man like out of the office, then the co-workers will say, 他是谁啊? Right? Who is that, folks? Right? So yeah. By the way, in Chinese there are 男他 and 女他, right? So basically, just 男他, right? This is 女他. So basically, this is like a simplified version of this 男, right? So then 女, simplified version of this. Okay? So you use the 他 is just like he or she to represent the gender. Okay? So that's who, right? And 谁 is represent a certain person, 人. Okay? And remember, we talk about 什么 just now at the extracurricular item. That 什么 is more like what in English. So what is more like 事情. Okay? 事. That means things. Just general things. Okay? So what kind of thing are you doing? 你在做什么? What are you doing? Okay? 而不是你在做谁? 是不是啊? Right? 你在做什么? Right? 你在 means a certain state, like you're doing something, right? 做 is like literally means doing. 什么 is like what? 你在做什么呢? What are you doing? Right? So this indicates it's a thing. It's the 事. A certain thing that you are doing. And sometimes we say not only just a thing, but rather 事物. Okay? 事物. So that means not just a thing. 事 is like is some event. 物 is like some object, something. Okay, so thing and thing, right? Just something is happening and some object thing, literally, physically, something, right? So 你在做什么? That means something that you are doing. What kind of thing that you are doing? So that's the who and what. 谁 and 什么. Okay. Also, let's talk about where. Okay, where means 哪里, right? So we got all this W here. That means 哪儿. Yeah. Or I think if you do not like this 儿化音, you can say 哪里. 哪儿 is like a pretty relaxed way, or in some Chinese dialect, you say 哪儿. Especially up in the north, a lot of 儿化音, right? But I think 哪里 is in like a more formal way, right? And more, widely applied way of saying, right? So for example, you say, 你去哪里呀? "你去哪里呀?" 去 means to go somewhere. So basically, 你 that's mean you. 去 is like a go. 去 right? 哪里 that's mean where. Ya is like a just to make it soft. 你去哪里呀? 你去哪里呀? Oh, 你这么开心了，你去哪里呀? Or it seems that you're pretty happy. Where are you going? Okay, so yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to start a conversation, right? 哇，这么开心去哪儿啊？去钓鱼啊？I go fishing, right? So yeah, 哪里 means where. 你去哪里呀? Where are you going? Okay, that's where. And also, it's kind of interchangeable. 你去哪儿呀? And I think 你去哪儿? 你去哪儿呀? It's also fine. But if you think you get like r, 哪儿, you don't necessarily need to have a ya because it's already 你去哪儿? 你去哪儿? 哪儿? I think also fine. 你去哪儿啊? As I said, you add ya, r at the end of sentence just to make it more soft, okay, more relaxed, more chill, more modern way of saying things like everyday Chinese, not like from textbook, like really foreigner textbook Chinese, but rather just chill Chinese. Okay, 你去哪儿啊？你去哪里呀？哇，这么开心，去哪里呀？去哪里玩啊？周末去哪里呀？Something like that. Well, where are you going? At the weekend, something like that. Okay, so yeah, that's where for you. All right. We talk about where, and we have when. Yeah, and how, which, and why. Yeah, we got tons of things. So, yeah, what about we got like a which and where? I think when. Maybe next is when. Sorry, I got tons of message. I need to like stop streaming now. Alright, yeah, I got tons of things. Duty is calling. Sorry about that. I had, as I said, it's like a side project. I love to chat with folks. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to quick. Oh my gosh, my phone is like exploding now. Alright, I'm going to quickly finish the two video recording and then call it for a day. Sorry about that. I got tons of things and main job calls. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah. All right, so we talk about a lot of like what and where and yeah, a lot of W. Let's continue talk about when. Okay, when basically means what time. Okay, so in Chinese there's like no simple words of when, but rather it's like 什么. Remember, this is like what, so basically it's like what time, because when is like what time, right? So time is like 时候. Okay, so basically when is 什么时候. I know it's pretty long, huh? So 时候 is the time, 什么 is what, and all this word can't be just analyze that singly, because it's just a combination. It just from the very start of the time is the combination 时候, but we got this a vertical line here. Don't forget about the stroke. Basically you should do that, but I do that intentionally so you guys can see. Don't forget this vertical stroke, because if you don't got that, it's completely different words. Okay, yeah, we will talk about that, but you just need to know that 时候 is like time. Okay, so for example, you say when we will come. Okay, so 你什么时候来啊? For example, you have a date with your friends, right? You already arrived. and he is not on time, okay? And you phone that person, 你什么时候来呀？我已经到了。Right? So basically, I have already arrived. 我已经到了。Alright? 我已经到了。I have already arrived. 我已经到了。Right? 我已经到了。我已经到了。And then you ask that person, 你什么 You what 时候 I just talk about this 时候 means time. You what time 你什么时候来呀 I prefer to add this 呀你什么时候来呀 to solve the time. 你什么时候来 It's like you doing an accusation, right? So for example, if this person like late for, I don't know, 2 hours, you can say, 你什么时候来啊？来不来啊？ Okay? 来 it means come. 不来 not come. 来不来啊 You are a little bit angry. 来不来啊？怎么还不到啊？你什么时候来啊？ Right? But, you know, in textbook example, it's like, 你什么时候来呀？你什么时候来 I think is a textbook example. In spoken, you can add 什么时候来呀？什么时候来啊 I think you can add ya, then you can add just to soften your tongue, right? When 什么时候 When Yeah, and I think why? Alright, let's look at one more W, and we're going to look at the H how here. So why 什么 Oh my gosh 什么 again What again But it's more like 为什么 Okay, so you can sort of treat this as a combination as why 为什么这样呢 It's like you're not only just give me what I want to know why what Okay, so way is like yeah, you know, normally your way is like a for if you have to translate that 为这个为人民 right for the people 为了孩子 for the children right but if you add this it's like 为什么 it's like a for what yeah I think that's exactly what is can be quickly memorized because 为什么 is like why for what why okay for what is kind of why right so for example teacher may ask you 为什么迟到到 means arrived 迟到 means late arrive okay that's like late arrival so why are you late 为什么 you use that in combination as a why 为什么 so basically 为 and sorry 为 should be go to the E yeah by the way I'm very bad at adding tongues sometimes I make mistake okay but you got the idea okay because come on I don't use the tongues I just use the characters so I haven't used tongue for I don't know how many decades say so yeah I have to think really hard about this because you need to add about the vowel and yeah the first the bigger the vowels and then smaller the vowels in ranking that order our you right so yeah I sometimes I got it wrong so sorry about that 为什么 right 为什么 sorry 神恩为什么 so basically 为什么 is like a combination of the words that you use represent why is that 为什么迟到啊 the teacher may ask student 为什么迟到啊你为什么迟到啊 right? You can say 你为什么迟到 soften the tongue. 你为什么迟到 Why are you so late? Okay, that's why. 为什么 You can see that, 什么时候 when, why 为什么 where 哪里 and who 谁 what 什么 Yeah, 什么 is so widely applied, right? What is 什么 and when is 什么时候 right? Why is 为什么 So yeah, you see how important 什么 is? You need to remember that. Okay? And 多少 how many how much Yeah, I think that's I'm going to leave for another day because I think we need to get the how on our belt. One more drink. Alright, so yeah, enough about W. What about H? Let's talk about Y. Okay, not about why, it's not about how. So, sorry. How. So, remember we talk about 什么 all the time. Okay? 什么 is really, really similar to another combination of 么 called 怎么 or 怎样. Okay? So for example, how do you go there? Basically means that you want to ask how to use a certain theories or method to go certain place, right? So how do you go there? So 你怎么去? 你怎么去? There's a little bit omission here. You can add 你怎么去 say 那里? 那里 means that place. That place. Okay? 你 you 怎么 like third time 怎么去 It's like going down 怎么去你怎么去你怎么去 Omission 去哪里 Right? So basically 怎么 is like how 去 is like a go You how go that place 你怎么去啊 Right? So for example you have an appointment afternoon and then you just hang out with your friends and you say whoa it's near the time I have to like go to appointments so sorry about that my friend and then the friend will say well 你怎么去啊 how do you go there right you go there by subway or by car I can give you a ride so basically this is like a pretty commonly used conversation 你怎么去啊我送你啊我送你 means that not I send you a present but rather 我送你啊我送你送 we can say 送礼物 but here we can say 送货 or 送你 like means that I will like drive you to that place or for example if you like you take a plane you take a train and someone will say I will send you to the airport and say goodbye this is kind of thing I will like handle your luggage right and then I will help you all the way to the airport you can also say 我送你 right
But this is just some answer. The textbook example is that 你怎么去 How do you go there? 怎么 really similar to 什么 but it's 怎么样 something like that, right? 怎么去 So 怎 You can also say 怎样你怎样去哪里啊 Right? But I think 你怎么去哪里啊 is more natural and a soft spoken way of saying that. Okay? So yeah, I think that's a lot about the 疑问代词 right? Like who, what, where, when, right? 什么时候 right? And we can say like which. Yeah, we I think we forgot about which. Which is like a 哪 right? Let's quickly get the which. Okay. But I think the 哪 is like you want to make a choice. Okay? So like which one would you prefer, right? Which book would you prefer? So 你喜欢哪本书 right? 哪 it's like which 哪 so going the third time 你喜欢哪本书本书你喜欢 remember 喜欢 we talk about a lot it's like a like it's a kind of like I which means love, right? I. But it's a kind of less than love. It's like just I like this, right? It's not like a love, it's like you pour your heart out. Right? 你喜欢哪本书啊? Which one book that you like, okay? Which book do you like? But in Chinese it's really simple. 你喜欢这本书 it's like this book, but it's not specific book. So 哪本书啊 which book would you prefer? Okay? So yeah, that's all about the all this W and the H. Alright, folks, I got some work to do. Sorry about that. And yeah, it's nearly 2 hours stream, and my throat is killing me now. So yeah, thanks for joining the stream. And don't forget, if you like watch this, you can subscribe to the channel, so you won't miss next stream, and you can join the chat. This is a bootcamp I'm making, and I'm making it live. You can watch that for free and join the chat on the stream, and also you can get the completely edited version, and more also add more content in the paid premium version.